genesis of the bill was Senate Bill 242 from last session. It died on the final night of the session last year because we literally didn't have time to work out the differences from the House bill that was passed on their side to the bill that was passed on our side. So anyway, the bill failed. After that, the President asked me to begin negotiations with the House leadership, with the chairman of the conference committee there, Steve Komenar, and Steve and I have worked out a deal, a bill that we passed and we agreed on, and we submitted it to our own leadership, and of course they made some changes and suggested some changes, and we submitted it to the governor's office. The governor had already said if we hadn't agreed to a bill, he would put it on the call for the agenda. So once we submitted it to him and he made a couple changes, and then we had a workable bill that all of us could support. Now, even with that, when we ran the bill in our committee, the Committee on Economic Development did make a couple changes in the legislation, and I felt they were good changes. So some of the things that changed were things that had somehow dropped out of one version or another version of the bill. So it perfected the bill, made it better. It's my understanding the House now is going to take our bill and start with it and use it and hopefully pass it intact, and we'll have a bill that's going to return some money to the coal-producing counties in the state. They have to use the money for economic development purposes, which is defined in the bill. They have to use the money for infrastructure purposes, which are defined in the bill. Things that the bill will cover are site development costs, architectural costs, studies, whatever. We try to make it think of everything that the county would need to use this money for and put it in the legislation. So I'm very proud that we finally got something that's going to help the quality of life in the coal-producing counties.
Do you think the questions of oversight measures have been addressed in this legislation?
I think they have, and I think some of the county commissioners may have been offended that we were running the bill through the development office. And what we did, we recognized those feelings and so forth, so we sent the money directly to the counties. We asked them to set up a special account for this money, and in the bill we asked them to report to the Joint Committee on Government and Finance to tell us how they use the money. We put in the bill provisions that allowed none of the money to be used for personal services and so forth, so they wouldn't use the money to create or to hire people. Now they can use the money to create jobs through economic development, which is what we hope they'll do.
And this has been a number one top priority issue for you personally as a Wyoming County Senator. So your just personal feelings now that this has been accomplished and is on its way to the governor's office?
I'm one of the few senators that has a job where I work directly with county commissions. So I do attend their meetings, and I hear the discussions, and I see all the things that they can do if they had just a little bit of seed money. And this money is going to provide that. It's going to provide the local match for federal grants, state grants. It's going to provide enough money to extend a water line to 200 families. A job like that's small enough to not have to go through the Infrastructure Council, but yet too large for a county commission to fund it out of its own funds. So this money will be used for things like that. It will be used to construct shell buildings so that we can attract local businesses. The last time we had anything like this was the Synfuel bill several years ago. I know in my own county we used that money to create an industrial park. We built 4 shell buildings, and today there's 100 jobs there, 100 good paying jobs. So that's how we plan to use this money.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I'm just, like I say, I'm very proud that all the coal-producing counties are going to enjoy the fruits of this legislation. This is the 3rd shot of severance money that goes back to the coal-producing counties. It doesn't take money away from any of the other counties. This is money that comes out of the General Revenue Fund, which we'll make up through a form of taxation. So, yeah, I'm glad we were able to do it. I'm not embarrassed at all to ask for it.
Okay, I appreciate you taking the time.